What's up, guys? It's Damone from Meat the Meatless, and today I want to discuss the 3 pillars of being healthy as a raw vegan. And I promise you guys won't expect the last one. The first two you might expect, but nobody's gonna guess the last one. Maybe somebody will. Leave it down below. If you guess the last one, leave it down below before you see it and what you think it is. But anyway, so let's get right into it. Okay, so I like to keep these videos straight and to the point and not waste your time. So first thing, okay, is going to be calories, guys. Now, I was just discussing this in my group, which I'll link down below. By the way, I have a raw vegan group, and it's growing. It's growing every day, and in that group we have the support of other raw vegans. You have me in there. You have access to me anytime in there. We're going to be starting Q&As. We're going to be doing weekly Q&As in there. So I hope to see you guys in there. And also, guys, quick. So I do have one-on-one coaching for those who want to work with someone who specializes in helping raw vegans and high raw vegans to get their physique goals. And if you're not raw vegan or high raw vegan and you want to work with me, then that is perfectly okay. We can talk about if that's something you want to lean into, and if that's something that you're not wanting to lean into. I did that too. Okay, so I before I was high raw or raw, I was not raw. So I know how to get the results either way. I just specialize in helping people do it with a high raw and a raw vegan diet, and that's because it's just the way that I think people are going to feel the best. So that's where that comes in. So anyway, okay, let's get into it, guys. So number one, calories. Okay, calories. I'm sure everybody could have guessed this one, but don't overlook it, right? Because I mean, if you don't eat enough calories, then you're gonna, like, no matter what else you do right, you're not gonna last if you don't eat enough calories. So that's number one. You got to eat enough calories. All right. So to make sure that you're eating enough calories, you can do, um, you know, high calorie foods. You don't have to eat low calorie foods all the time. You know what I mean? It's like you can't live off of melons. Like melons are a delicious, excuse me, they're a delicious thing to eat, but you can't live off of those. You know what I'm saying? So you need some sustenance, right? So, and I know people do like melon cleanses and stuff like that. I don't do that kind of stuff, but I had my time where I was fasting, you know. But I never had like a serious health issue to try to heal. So I didn't do too much cleansing and all that kind of stuff. But I am into superfoods, and I am into herbs and the science behind herbs and that kind of stuff. I'm into that kind of thing. So anyway, calories, guys. So making sure you get enough calories. If you eat the same thing every day, or the same amount of calories every day, and you track that in a something that makes it simple like Chronometer or MyFitnessPal, you track that for a week, let's say, and then you don't gain or lose any weight at the end of the week, that's the amount of calories you need a day to stay the way that you are, right? So that's your bare minimum to stay the way you are. Now, if you want to lose weight, then you have to go down a little bit. And excuse me, and but that's not a permanent thing, right? You don't permanently stay in a caloric deficit. You can't do that forever. Um, so at a certain point, your body adapts, and you can't like go down and down and down in calories and forever, unless you're trying to go breatharian. But that's a joke, by the way. That's a whole different story. But yeah, so getting those calories, right? So let's say you want to gain weight, right? Now you have your number that you need to stay the same weight. Now you go up a little bit to gain weight, right? It's really simple. So when it comes to calories, it's very basic, because calories are energy. You put more energy in than you expend, you gain weight. You put less energy in than you expend, you lose weight, right? You lose energy. You put more energy in than you expend, then you gain energy. You see, if you put the same amount of energy in that you expend, then you don't gain or lose any energy, right? You end up at neutral, same place that you were. That's maintaining weight. So that's calories, guys. So number two is micronutrients. Why did I just have such a hard time saying that? Number two is micronutrients. Uh, so so micronutrients are vitamins, minerals, um, antioxidants, things like those are your basic micronutrients, right? So when we eat food, we're often thinking about the macronutrients, right? Everybody's thinking about protein. Everybody's thinking about, for the most part, everybody's thinking about protein. You know, everybody's obsessed with protein, but how many people are obsessed with getting enough of their micronutrients every day? Like, how many people do you see that are obsessed with hitting their daily zinc, or making sure they get the vitamin D that they need every day from the sun? Or how many people are obsessed with, you know, uh, vitamin C? Did I already say that? Vitamin E. Like, who do you see that is obsessed with these things? Nobody, right? Everybody's obsessed with protein, and that's because that's what we're marketed all the time. When you look in the store, it's like high protein, blah blah blah. Sure. And they have a lot of people fooled with that. You know, they got people like eating things that have artificial things in them, and they'll say like high protein, low calorie, but it's got artificial crap in it, and it's not healthy, right? And then also the protein, like people are getting way more protein than they need. That those calories would be better allotted to healthy foods, like really really healthy foods that are going to give you those micronutrients that you need. So you should always prioritize micronutrients first over macronutrients. So yeah, you have to get your calories every day, but you have to get your micronutrients. It's really important. So yeah, so that's that. And then the last thing, guys, and this is the one that I don't think most people will expect, and it's your mindset, right? So this is the third pillar, and it's the most important of everything, right? So you got your diet on point. Man, I look red right here. I was scratching. I think I got a bite or something. But if you can eat the healthiest food in the world, you can work out, you can do all that kind of stuff. But if you don't get the, I'm sorry, if you're not mentally a healthy person, then you can't physically be a healthy person. The mind dictates where the body goes. The mind dictates what the body does. The mind dictates everything. I'll share with you guys, there was a study that was done. I don't remember when, not too long ago, maybe the 40s or the 60s, or probably the 60s. I don't remember. I could be wrong on that, but anyway, I don't know the date of the study, but you can look the study up, okay? It's very well known. But there were these men. They were like, I forget how many. Okay, so maybe around a dozen men. They were all in like their 60s. They were war vets, Vietnam War vets, I believe. That would make it in the 60s, right? So it must have been in the 60s. But yeah, so these guys had arthritis in their knees, all of them. They all had arthritic knees. Their knees were bad. Okay, and this doctor told every one of them that he was going to do a surgery on um, on their knees to repair them. Right, he was gonna heal their knees with the surgery, so on and so forth. Anyway, long story short, what he actually did was he did the surgery on half the guys, and the other half he just cut their knees. Right, he made the incisions as if he did the surgery. Okay, but they all believed that he was actually going to do the surgery, so they don't know, right? And so he does the actual surgery on half the guys. He doesn't do the surgery on the other guys. And what happened? I'm sure you guys can guess. Every one of those guys made a full recovery, including the guys that all he did was make an incision on their knees. He did nothing except cut their knees open. That's it. He pretended. But he told them he was doing the surgery. So they believed that he was doing the surgery, and they believed that their knees were gonna be healed. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. This is true. So the mind and the power of the mind is not fully understood yet, but it's something that we have to take into account. When it comes to our health, if we don't take that into account, then we're really going to miss out. So no matter what you eat, you do need to make sure that you're feeding yourself mentally with good food, right? So what are you watching? What are you listening to? Who are you around? You don't always have full control over who you're around, but you do the best you can, and yeah, and try to incorporate. Don't try, do it. Incorporate healthy things every day. So things like gratitude. Everybody should have a gratitude practice. Everybody on this planet should have a gratitude practice. So incorporate gratitude into your day, and even if it's just 5 minutes or something like that, where you just really take time to really appreciate the things that you're grateful for. And that means no matter how bad your life may seem, you still do that, and you take the time to do that every day. And when you do this, I mean, there's science behind it. I would encourage you guys who haven't looked into this and don't practice this, go look up the science behind it, what gratitude can actually do, because it's powerful stuff. It's powerful stuff. And um, so incorporating something like that, mental health, uh, exercises almost. You know what I mean? Like you think to exercise your body, but do you think to exercise your mind the same way? You have to take care of your mind. Remember, the mind controls the body, right? So when you look at somebody and you're like, well, how does that person always, they're always healthy and they look amazing and they're, they feel wonderful and everything, and they don't follow these rules. How does that work? Well, the mind is more powerful than anything in that we do physically. So that's why we have to make sure that the mind is in check and on point. But yeah, so that's it, guys. Those are the 3 tips for the 3 pillars of a raw vegan diet and how to be successful. If you put those things into practice, and if you make those things a priority in your life, no matter what, then you will be setting yourself up to succeed. The people that don't succeed long term are the people who do not have one or more of these 3 things in place. They're prioritizing other things, right? So a lot of people, they're prioritizing cleansing, detoxing, detoxing, detoxing. You got people that are like in their teens and 20s, always detoxing. Like they haven't even ever had some major disease. They're detoxing like crazy. And why are they detoxing? Here's something to consider. If somebody tells you to do something because it you know produces whatever result, and you do it and you have no way of verifying and measuring whether it produced that result, then you should question that person, right? So if they say, cleanse this and cleanse that, and then you go and you do the protocols to cleanse those things, and you never have any way of knowing if those things even did what they said they were going to do. You see what I'm saying? And you don't have any way of checking. So it's really just a waste of your time, unless you know for sure that you're getting this result. It's a waste of your time. So I'm not encouraging anybody who's sick not to take care of that first. But I am encouraging a lot of you people who are healthy, who are, you're already eating health promoting foods. Like, stick to the healthy foods. You don't need to cleanse every day. You don't need to cleanse all the time. You know what I mean? So anyway, I hope that helps you guys. I'm out. I'll see you on the next one.